వెల్కమ్ టు టీవీ ఏషియా తెలుగు టాక్ షో విత్ ఎక్స్పర్ట్స్. మరి మన టాక్ షో విత్ ఎక్స్పర్ట్స్ మళ్ళీ ఒక సరికొత్త టాపిక్ తోటి చాలా ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్ గా మళ్ళీ మన ముందుకు వచ్చేసిందండి. మరి మనం ఇంకా ఏమాత్రం ఆలస్యం చేయకుండా లెట్ us స్టార్ట్ టీవీ ఏషియా తెలుగు టాక్ షో విత్ ఎక్స్పర్ట్స్. సో అనిల్ గారు, వెల్కమ్ టు ద షో అండి. హౌ ఆర్ యూ?
థ్యాంక్ యూ అండి. థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్ లక్ష్మి గారు. వెరీ గుడ్ అండి. థ్యాంక్స్ అండి.
సో మనం ఎవ్రీ వీక్ చాలా రోజులుగా ట్యాక్స్ ప్లానింగ్ స్ట్రాటజీస్ గురించి మాట్లాడుతున్నాము ఈ షోలో. సో డిఫరెంట్ టాపిక్స్ డెఫినెట్ గా వి ఆల్ హ్యావ్ ఏంటంటే ట్యాక్స్ సేవింగ్స్ ఎలా చేయాలి, అది ఎలా చేయాలి, ఇది ఎలా చేయాలి, వీ హ్యావ్ సో మెనీ క్వశ్చన్స్. సో అన్నిటికీ ఒక పాజ్ ఏంటి అంటే యూ నీడ్ అన్ ఎక్స్పర్ట్ అడ్వైస్. సో వి ఆల్ నో దాట్. సో ఆ ఎక్స్పర్ట్ అడ్వైస్ లో ద ఎక్స్పర్ట్ హియర్ ఇస్ అనిల్ గ్రంథి గారు. సో మనం చాలా అడ్వైజ్లు ఇప్పటికే చాలా తెలుసుకున్నాము ఫ్రమ్ లాస్ట్ మేబీ 2-3 months. సో ఎవరైనా కొత్తగా యాడ్ అయి ఉంటే ఒక్కసారి అనిల్ గారి ఎక్స్పర్టైజ్ గురించి ఐ జస్ట్ వాంట్ టు పుట్ అప్ ఎ వర్డ్ అండి. సో హీ హాస్ 15+ years of experience in finance profession as finance controller, CFO, and he holds other senior executive positions. He worked in a major organizations like Amazon, Starbucks, PwC, and Sun Edison. So he is helping his clients take advantage of tax planning opportunities and strategically setting up their businesses for success. So he has a successful and very efficient team of CPAs and chartered accountants and other financial professionals. So please feel free to reach out AG FinTax Anil Grandhi garu for your strategic tax planning advice. So please make a note, it's a strategic tax planning and which you really need it, and it's the need of the hour, and we are almost end of the year, so we all have to plan for it. Anil garu, welcome to the show, and we'll start the show without any further ado andi. Before that మీరేనా చెప్పాలనుకుంటున్నారా?
Sure అండి. థ్యాంక్ యూ లక్ష్మి గారు. డెఫినెట్లీ we should start the show, but year end is coming up. I think we did few shows earlier, tax planning individuals, tax planning businesses. I recommend everyone to go and watch those videos. Every day counts a lot. Start spending time on thinking about the taxes and how to save taxes. So when you think about the taxes, then only you can take steps to save taxes. If you don't care about taxes, you don't take any steps, in result you will be paying more taxes when you file your tax returns.
డెఫినెట్ గా ట్యాక్స్ సేవ్ చేయొద్దు అనుకునే వాళ్ళు ఎవరు ఉండరు కాబట్టి ఎవ్రీవన్ హ్యాస్ టు టేక్ సమ్ స్టెప్స్, సంథింగ్ ఆర్ ద అదర్ టు సేవ్ ద taxes అండి. So yes, we had a wonderful sessions from last 2-3 months. So about this strategic tax planning. So please watch one of those videos. And TV Asia Telugu is available in Dish Network, WorldBBTV, YouTube, and TV Asia Telugu Facebook page and website is also there. Please, whenever you have some time, without fail, please log in into one of these channels and please watch these shows. You will definitely get benefit out of it. Okay, Anil garu. So today we are discussing about save taxes by starting business. So how can we save taxes by starting business ane topic ni discuss చేస్తున్నాము. So start చేద్దామండి.
Sure అండి, తప్పకుండా లక్ష్మి గారు. వెరీ ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్ టాపిక్. Yes, we'll start.
Definitely అండి. So usually people start business to make money, and everybody starts business with a motive that to make money. So build wealth out of passion and so many other things. So starting business to save on taxes is a very interesting way of looking at it. Definitely, and we don't look at it in such a way that we can save taxes just by starting the business, right? So can you please elaborate on it? And
so if you look at a monthly expenses for any family, one of the biggest and major expense is taxes. So what I strongly believe that if a person, an individual, can spend time to understand the tax code at high level, which will help him to save taxes from 10 to 40% on average, we can save taxes. And those taxes, whatever you save, that could be added to the millions of dollars by the time of retirement if you can invest all your tax savings in a systematic investment plan. So every dollar you save, it's equal to every dollar you earn it. We put a lot of hard work every day for every activity, for every business, or even your unemployment. So we work so much to earn a dollar. And I am surprised people don't spend a couple of hours extra efforts to save a lot of tax. So, but I mean, I just said there are different ways to save taxes, but for small business owners, the opportunities are more to save taxes compared to the individuals. After our recent Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017, which was introduced after our Trump was become a president. So there are so many advantages are given to small business owners from the tax perspective. So I strongly recommend, yes, everyone understand the tax code at least high level on how to save taxes and start saving money. Definitely, there are a lot more opportunities when you have a business.
Okay, so very interesting, Andy. We'll know more details going deep into the topic. So definitely, we often hear about big companies, Andy. So like Forbes, like who are Forbes 500 companies. So literally, we sometimes we hear that they're not paying any taxes. So can you please explain about, and like, is
Sure.
this what they're taking advantage of for having a business and saving?
Yeah. Yes, Andy. But you mentioned a very good point. Many high net worth individuals, they always work on how to save taxes.
Yes.
Individuals, small business owners, they don't care much about the taxes, but very big guys, high net worth individuals, wealthy people, or big businessmen, or Fortune 500, Forbes 500, Fortune 500 companies, they always work exclusively, or a separate team or team members exclusively work on how to save taxes. The tax code is same for everyone. It can be big businesses, it can be the small businesses. It is the same for everyone. But only big business owners are able to save lot of taxes and more. And as I said earlier in earlier webinars, Amazon in 2018, Amazon profit was $11 billion plus. They paid zero tax. And recently we have seen our article on Donald Trump. Trump paid $750 as federal taxes. Federal taxes. How it is possible? It is possible when you make an effort for that. And it is possible only when you have the businesses. And I don't say that paying zero taxes is possible for everyone. There are different strategies. There is a lot of efforts, time and efforts are required to reach that goal. But however, I do notice that there are many self-employed people like doctors, lawyers, or you might be doing a freelancing, or you are working on a consultant. If you look into your tax rates, you are paying approximately 50 to 60% in taxes, including your federal, state, and social security tax benefits. So every dollar you earn, you are paying 50 to 60% as taxes, because they are not optimizing tax saving strategies.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Is it so? And like we're paying
Correct, Andy. True. Yes. Yes, Andy, because as I said, federal tax rate, the maximum is 37%.
Yeah.
And state income tax rates are up to 13% based on which state you live. Mm-hmm. So if you live in California, or if you live in New Jersey, New York, okay, there are few states where the state taxes are very high. On top, you need to pay 15.3% social security taxes. So if you add all those things, it would be coming to 50 to 60% in taxes.
It's really true, actually. But if you add up all the different taxes that we are paying on income, yes, that is too much of taxes. Yeah. So what do you suggest, Andy? So how can we save, or what is your suggestion on this?
Yes, Andy. To save this money, if you are in employment, or if you're getting a W-2 income, you might not have a lot of opportunities to save taxes. But if you start a business, a door with an opportunities will open up. Mm-hmm. You can start a business just by sitting at your home. You can start your business just by sitting at your home. You can start a home business. You can even just do an online business. You can create a website or get the website done, and you can do online trading, or online sales. You can do online services. You can offer. You can become a freelancer, okay, or you can even sometimes setting up a legal entity or registration also helps. So and there are also different tax saving opportunities are available if it is a C corporation, if it is an LLC, and based on your entity structure also you can save taxes. So altogether, my recommendation, if you are living in United States of America and if you have all valid visas to start a business, don't think more. Just start a business. It can be too small. It's okay. Take your first step to start your business. Then it may help you in saving taxes, and this small business may become a big enterprise over the time.
Okay. That makes sense, and definitely. So why will the government help people when they want to start business? Is there any particular reason? And
yes, Andy. Okay. So generally, people think the tax law is only to penalize business owner or to penalize people and get some, not penalize, I mean to get the money from the business owners and individuals, which is a revenue for a treasury department. But there is also one more reason behind this tax law. They want to provide incentives to the people by offering some incentives. They encourage people to do something which a government wants them to do it. Like example, I will give more examples as we talk, but these incentives will help for a future economic development and increased economic developments. There is possibility for economic developments. So that is the reason government always try to give an incentive to the business owners who will bring who will help in economic development. So if people in a nutshell, business or tax law supports the business owners by supports business owners by encouraging them by giving tax incentives. So in general, when people will for what purpose people gets attracted? Hey, if you do the business, you can save this much of taxes. If you don't do the business, you will be paying so much of taxes. So when a government says like that, when the tax law says like that, obviously most of the individuals, they don't want to pay a lot of taxes. So then when they start looking into that, what are the opportunities to save taxes? Business is one of the top regions where they can find some tax saving incentives or tax deductions or any government support activities on saving taxes. So that is the reason why government always encourages business owners to take the step towards to build their business much bigger, and they encourages more to small business owners rather than big business owners. So if we give more encouragement to the small business owners, those small businesses may become big enterprises or corporates over the time, which will help to bring economic development to the country. Yes. So that is the logic behind why IRS is giving tax incentives or deductions for the business owners.
Absolutely, it makes sense, and because future economic development is also very important for the country. So maybe that is the long-term plan of the IRS or government. So okay. So can you give some more examples, Andy?
Sure, Andy. Okay. And just to explain this in more detail, why government gives some incentives. Just to, as I said, they want people or individuals to do the work what is recommended. Like example, government supports if you buy a house. Why don't they support if you want to rent a house? They give some deductions only when you buy a house, but they don't give any deductions if you rent a house. And if you buy an electric car, you get an incentive. If you buy a gasoline car, you don't get any incentives. And if you send your kids, if you save money for your kids, they give some incentives. And if you do some charity activities, they give some incentives. So all those things, if you see that, if you do some good activity, IRS wants to encourage you. So that's what they give incentives.
So very interesting actually. So you happen to mention that tax incentives, right? So tax exemptions also. What do they mean? And
Okay. So generally tax incentives are different types. Sometimes IRS gives incentives in the form of exemptions, where you don't need to pay taxes on this income. There may be giving some deductions. Okay, you spend money for this purpose, and you take a tax deduction for this, which will help you to pull down or bring down your taxable income. Or you can they give some credits. So like example, there are some credits which, if you do some activity, if you do this work, you get some tax credit which will bring down the tax liability. So the tax incentives can be in different forms based on different activities. So based on I mean, they always try to give some support to the business owners, or it gives some support to the environmental friendly activities. If you do, they want to give some support. And if they want to support, if you do any savings for your future, it can be a retirement, it can be a kids education. If you do anything good job, they give it incentives in different forms.
So Candy, so how are regular small business owners going to be benefited?
Yes, and correct. As I mentioned, small business owners are much benefited than big business owners on the taxes. Okay, so like example, I want to take some example of retirement benefits. If you're a small business owner, you can contribute retirement savings up to $57,000, which is very easy. I mean, big business owners also can do it, but there are a lot more restrictions. If, for like example, if you are a professional, if you are a single member employee, or if you own a business, you can contribute up to $57,000 solo 401k, which we discussed in our earlier sessions. But if you're running a big business, and there are a lot of restrictions where even you can contribute $57,000, but there are a lot of restrictions there. So, but only one thing is very important. You can claim deductions when you run a business, which are tax deductible, only when you meet three conditions. Number one, the expense whatever you incur, it should be business purpose, and the expense should be in ordinary, like unusual, abnormal expenses if you incur, definitely IRS will come and ask you. And it should be a must, it should be necessary to run your business, or to make a profit from your business, or to increase your market share. And like example, these are the three conditions are there. Just I also want to give one more example here. Example, you are running in maybe some IT consulting business, but if you are incurring some expenses for some manufacturing activities, or for some labor, or so which are some unusual, or you might be spending a lot of money on buying some inputs or some raw materials. In those cases, or if you're buying some sand, or if you're buying some building construction materials, but you are an IT consulting services, why you are buying some IT consulting services, building materials? If you do any mismatch, unusual, abnormal, not ordinary, then IRS will come back to you. So you can claim your business expenses as long as you use it for the business purpose, legitimate, and they are ordinary, and which are required to run your business.
So does this mean regular business expenses are deductible, right? Like whatever are the normal expenses?
Yes, and like example, as long as you incur expenses, and in respect to your business, it can be some meals expenses, or automobile. You are traveling to somewhere, travel expenses, or even education expenses. Because to do better business we might need to attend a lot of seminars, webinars, or you might need to subscribe to a lot of materials. You might need to attend some classes, all any education related expenses. And as long as you can prove that those expenses are belongs to your business, they pertain to business related expenses and they are legitimate and you can document clearly, then you can claim all your expenses.
So, and this leads to tax savings and showing all these expenses.
Exactly correct, Andy, right? Whatever expenses you are deducting, they will help you in tax savings. Like on average 25 to 40% deductions you are getting, instead of paying an IRS, you are claiming as an expense, and you are when you claim as an expense, you are bringing down your tax liability. So in other words, IRS is becoming a partner in your company. They are helping you to, like example, I spent some $100 for some expenses. Like example, I bought a laptop for $1,000. IRS will come and say that, hey, you are running a business, let me take my share of 30%. Mm-hmm. So but IRS will not come and do management of your company. They will not involve your business decisions. They will not involve in your business decisions, but they are partnering with you when you're spending money. So like there are a lot of business expenses. I mean, anything is business related. If you're spending, those can be claimed as business deductions, and IRS will contribute their share by allowing as an expense, so that you don't need to pay a lot of taxes for those expenses.
So how do tax credits work? Can you explain?
Yes, so there are different types of tax credits are being offered by IRS. So the tax credits in general, they will directly deduct your tax liabilities. So it depends on which business you are doing, or which type of business you are doing, which entity structure you have, and how much income you are making, what you are in, which income bracket you are, whether are you generating or are you making income from your individual, which is a 1040, or you have a C corporation or S corporation or partnership. All these parameters play a key role in deciding which tax credit you are eligible. Whatever that, if you get any tax credit, that will help you to reduce your tax liability.
So let's take a short break and come back, Andy.
ఎక్స్చేంజ్ 8,000 రూపాయల బ్యాలెన్స్ మ్యామ్.
ఇవ్వనక్కర్లేదమ్మా, 8,000 మీకే వస్తాయి.
ఎస్ మ్యామ్, మేము కేవలం హాల్మార్క్ 916 గోల్డ్నే అమ్ముతాం. ఇంకా మీకు దొరికింది 100% ఎక్స్చేంజ్ వాల్యూ.
క్వాలిటీ, ఇది మలబార్ ప్రామిస్. Promise is a promise.
Mom, what did the man mean when he said go back to where you came from?
Go back, wherever you're from.
Why do they make fun of my name at school?
Kamala.
Dad, who will protect us from climate change?
Global warming, and a lot of it's a hoax. It's a hoax.
Why is Mommy coming back from hospital?
Our family's future is at stake. The choice is ours. Vote Asaf and Warnock.
12 సంవత్సరాలుగా ఎలాంటి ప్రతిఫలాపేక్ష లేకుండా ఎంతో మంది చదువులకు తోడ్పాటు అందిస్తున్న తెలుగు పీపుల్ ఫౌండేషన్ వారు మ్యూజిక్ అండ్ ఎంటర్టైన్మెంట్ తో మీకు అందిస్తున్న వర్చువల్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ తెలుగు పీపుల్ ఫౌండేషన్ పుష్కరాలు, డిసెంబర్ 12, 10:30 AM EST మీ టీవీ ఏషియా తెలుగులో. ప్లీజ్ విజిట్ telugupeople.org.
ఇది మా హీరో అల్లుడు కోసం ఫిట్ గా ఉంటుంది.
పర్ఫెక్ట్ గా ఫిట్ అవుతుంది. ఇది మైండ్ డైమండ్, 100% క్వాలిటీ.
సార్ ప్రతి మైండ్ డైమండ్ న్యాచురల్. ఇంకా మేము 28 క్వాలిటీ టెస్ట్లు చేస్తాం.
28 టెస్ట్లా?
ప్రతి డైమండ్ జ్యువెలరీతో పాటు ఇంటర్నేషనల్ ల్యాబ్ సర్టిఫికేట్ కూడా.
కళ్ళు మూసుకుని మీ హీరో కోసం వజ్రాలను తీసుకోండి. ఇది మలబార్ ప్రామిస్. ప్రామిస్ ఇస్ ఎ ప్రామిస్.
వెల్కమ్ బ్యాక్ టు టీవీ ఏషియా తెలుగు టాక్ షో విత్ ఎక్స్పర్ట్స్. సో మనం ఈరోజు హౌ టు సేవ్ టాక్సెస్ బై ఓపెనింగ్ అప్ ఎ బిజినెస్ అనే టాపిక్ డిస్కస్ చేస్తున్నామండి. అండ్ టీవీ ఏషియా తెలుగు ఇస్ అవైలబుల్ ఆన్ WorldBBTV, Dish Network and YouTube. TV Asia Telugu website and Facebook page is also there. So please log in into one of these channels whenever you have some time, and you can watch all old sessions, and then at the same time you can watch entertainment sessions also. Anil garu, welcome back to the show andi.
Sure andi, thank you.
Can you briefly mention the tax credits available for small businesses? And
Yes andi, sure, definitely. So according to Small Business Administration, there are few tax credits are available for the small businesses in the US, and they will help you to write off to reduce your tax burden. An example, small business owners can get 50% tax credit for the health insurance premiums they pay for a employee's health coverage, and they do also get a credit of up to $1,000 when they set up a pension plan. If they are for employees purpose, if they have any pension plans, they can get a startup setup cost up to $1,000 as a deduction. On top, there are many companies who do research activities. If they do the research activities, they can get 20% credit back in respect to the related research related expenses. Whatever expenses they spend, whatever money they spent on R&D, they will get it back 20% as a tax credit. So, and on top of this, there are some workman opportunity credit is there, and a disabled access credit, and there are opportunity zone credit, and there are many more. And if you need more details, reach out to me, or you can just also do some Google search, whatever I told now. But they are considering the shortage at the time, I'm not going in detail here.
since this is a time concerning show, please feel free to reach out and Anil garu whenever you have some questions or any other tax planning sessions or time. You can set up a time with Anil garu and you can have your own discussion with him. So next which is Anil garu, what should be the business owners look for before claiming these credits, and what are the things that they have to take into consideration?
So the point what I want to mention here is claiming these credits are not recurring every year. You may be eligible to get the credit 1 year, so next year you might not be eligible. So again, third year you may be eligible, and based on your income limits, the credits will change. So what I recommend, before claiming any tax credit, I strongly recommend viewers to check with their tax advisors, tax professionals, CPAs, or tax account preparers before you claim these deductions. And for every eligibility, for every credit, there is a different parameters we need to look into this. It's not a straightforward, but there are possibilities and getting the tax credits.
Okay. So time to time, depending on so many factors, these credits will keep changing.
Yes.
Every year before filing taxes, so you might need to take an expert advice or your tax planning professional advice to make sure that you are eligible for certain credits. Antenandi?
And then, correct. So then, yep.
So
as we recommend earlier, we always say that talk to their professional, because we talk in very high level in generic sense. And the tax situation might be differ from person to person, all the time, every year to year. So we always, and before you implement any of those strategies, whatever we recommend over the show, I strongly recommend to implement only after talking with their tax consultants.
Yes. This is the generalized show kabatti, so each person has their own things to work around, right? So definitely meer cheppinattu, this is just a generalized knowledge kosame tappa we cannot recommend or we cannot give any advice to a particular person. So
Right.
shows and so definitely I agree with you, Andy. So to sum up, whatever you just briefed us about tax incentives, exemptions, credits. So let us talk about tax deductions, Andy.
Sure, Andy. This is my favorite points. Tax deductions. Always I look into that. What are the allowed expenses as per IRS? What are the tax deductible expenses as per IRS? I always have a lot of interest in researching more, and reviewing, reading the internal tax code in more detail to find out what else we can claim, illegally. So I want to start with here in the tax deductions. I want to start with the home office deductions, and the home office deductions. We did one live show on the home office deductions exclusively, but at a very high level, I want to cover here. I want to just summarize what we discussed today. People think, or many CPS even say that home offices are red flags for the audits. My answer is this is wrong myth, and it's a myth, and it's a wrong it's a wrong assumption. Home office expenses are allowed because in this world, who you tell me one person who is not working from home? Everyone is working from home. They take a lot of costs. They do a lot of admin works. They talk to their clients. They talk to their vendors. They talk to their employees, and they take the laptop and work. Most of the cases, everyone work from their home.
Yes.
So when they are working from home, and I'm talking about only for the business owners, Andy. So if you start a business, you can start claiming your home office expenses. So what type of expenses you can claim? You can claim home maintenance expenses. You can claim mortgage interest, utilities, or any other costs which are required to run your home. However, you cannot claim 100% of your expenses. You need to have a exclusive, regularly using, and regularly using a place in your home, a dedicated place which you can claim it as a home office. So if you meet all those conditions, then definitely you can claim. See what is the percentage of your home. It can be 10%, it can be 5%, it can be 12 or 17, whatever the percentage it is. Based on the square feet, just compute what is the percentage of your home, then you can claim all your expenses. The important point here, everyone needs to notice, documentation is very important. Even you claim some electricity bill and share of electricity. For example, I am claiming 15% of my home as my home office, and if I claiming 15% of electricity bill, I need to have that electricity bill as a documentation support, because in the future, if IRS comes for any audit, you should have the support in documentation. But this claiming a home office doesn't trigger an audit, and if IRS comes, you need to have a documentation. And there are some exceptions to claim your home, the place, exclusive use of your office. Like example, if you are running a daycare facility at your home, and if you are claiming 20% or 30% of your home, you are using as home office. In those cases, you don't need to have exclusive use, and you can even have you can use that place even for other purpose. But otherwise, the place, whatever you are claiming as home office, it has to be exclusive use for your office purpose.
So other than what you just mentioned, so what type of expenses can be deducted?
So as I mentioned, home office expenses, apart from there are two types of expenses you can claim under home office: direct expenses, indirect expenses. If there are any expenses directly pertains to your home office, Like example, right now I am sitting in my home and in my office, and if I incur any expenses, maybe for some painting work, or maybe some repair work, or if I incur any other expenses to make my place as use as office, those are direct expenses. I can claim 100% expenses as an expense, as a direct expense. But indirect expenses. So indirect expenses are which directly belongs to my room, but if I'm incurring some expenses for my home purpose, but based on the square feet, I can claim those expenses as a tax deduction based on the percentage of the home I'm using for my home office. And there is also, IRS has also given one more clarification here. If you, instead of maintaining all this documentation or tracking all those expenses, every person, every business owner can claim $5 per square feet as a home office deduction based on what is the size of your home you are using. So up to the maximum of 300 square feet. Ante 300 square feet into 5, which is $1,500, you can claim as a home office expenses, and you don't need to track all your expenses for this purpose.
Okay, that makes sense, definitely. So is there anything else related to home or family and other than this?
Yes. Okay. So the other one of my other favorite topic is family. Means when I think about family, hiring family members. So hiring family members can be a very good tax saving strategy, and there are two advantages. One, we are, because we hire our family members, we pay salary to them, which will help us to reduce our tax liability. At the same time, we are also giving training to them to build entrepreneur skills, and we are also teaching them how to run a small businesses. So, and if like example, if you employ your kid, if you hire your kid, you are teaching him entrepreneur skills. So I always like adding my family members, making my family members as part of my business, so that we all can. I'm training them, and I'm also availing tax benefits because of salary payments what I'm doing to them.
Yes, that makes sense completely. So you are getting two advantages. One is training them, and one is saving on the taxes.
Yes.
So will it make a difference to hire children under age 18? And
yes, Andy, very, very, very much. So chala mandiki, many people don't know that. Don't know one class. If you're running a small business, and if parents are hiring kids, their own kids, then they don't need to pay any payroll taxes. And if they are under 18 years, they don't need to pay any taxes. And other thing is, they don't need to withhold any taxes also, as long as you are paying the salaries within the given limits. So the second one is, this is the first point, you don't need to pay payroll taxes, which is just social security tax, which is 15.3%. Number two, the kids don't need to pay taxes up to $12,400. So in other words, you can pay salary of up to $12,400 to kids, and they don't need to pay any taxes for their income, and they also don't need to file a tax return also. And the third important point, ensure that they are doing legitimate services to your business. They can do any small works also. Even they can help you in doing some marketing work in your social media page. Your business may have a Facebook page, and they may be helping you on social media, or they may be helping you on shredding your paperwork. They may be helping you in cleaning up your office, cleaning up your home offices. If you have some rental properties, even they may be helping you in doing small miscellaneous works at your rental property. So as long as you have a clear job title to them, and with a job description, what they are going to do, you can claim you can claim all these expenses. You can pay salary to them, and they don't need to pay any salaries. Sorry, they don't need to pay any taxes.
Okay. Definitely, this is a valid point, and this is definitely very valuable, Andy, because a lot of us have our kids who are under 18, who is going to middle school, high school, right? So we can definitely make them work, and at the same time, we can give them, pay them the salary so that it is a good encouragement for them, so that they learn things also.
You are right, correct.
Because for everybody, end of the day, payment makes them very interesting, right? So if I do this, I'll get paid. So think like that will make them very interesting and encouraging also.
Okay. And we are also doing, I think I am also planning to do a separate exclusive session on hiring kids. And this is a very good tax saving strategy. So exclusive, maybe next webinar or in the next 1-2 webinars, live shows, we should pick a topic, hiring kids. And this is a very good one.
Definitely, and because as soon as possible, we better to discuss the topic. And we are close to year end, kabatti, so a lot of people can plan and work around.
Correct.
Should they follow any specific rules while paying the children? And is there any specific rules?
Yes, Andy. The most important point is the business has to be owned by you. And you need to, you can hire only your own kids, and your own children has to be hired, and there should be less than 18 years, so to enjoy all the tax benefits. And the business has to be either sole proprietor business or family management company. It can be a sole proprietor, or it's an LLC. And even LLC for rentals, you might be getting some rental income. Even that LLC also, it's okay. Or otherwise, any single member LLCs are also good enough to pay salaries.
Okay. So depreciation, Andy. So we commonly hear kada topic depreciation ane word chala ekkuva vintuntam taxes lo. So depreciation is a very common. So business expense lo kuda manu common ga discuss chestha untamu. So please explain how we can maximize the deduction.
So this is actually, I shall say, this is a special provision in federal tax code, which allows you to deduct full amount of money, whatever you invest in the business, in the same year when you buy it, when you purchase it. Like example, you can buy some vehicles, you can buy some office equipment. There are lot of sections are there, like example, section 179, which allows you to record 100% depreciation in the year you purchase. And there are also some bonus depreciation clauses are there where you can claim 100% of depreciation in the year when you purchase a vehicle, or you purchase a home office, some office equipment, or any office related tools. If you buy, you can claim all those expenses as a deduction, as a depreciation in the same year when you claim it. Like example, before this end of this year, if you buy a car which is more than 6,000 pounds, it can be Tesla X, which is $110,000. You can claim 100% depreciation in the same year when you purchase it. So this could be a very good tax saving strategy because you are investing money in your own business and you are getting a deduction for that.
So that is also very interesting, Andy. So you just mentioned about some vehicle expenses, kada? So is there any other things to add up to it? And
yes, Andy. As I just discussed about depreciation, now I want to focus more on vehicle expenses. What vehicle expenses? Okay, so when you have a vehicle, for example, you have a car, you might be incurring some lot of expenses like fuel or gasoline or fuel or maintenance or lease payments, or interest on your finances or on your finance. All these expenses can be deducted. And if you go out to meet a client, to meet a vendor, to meet a customer, or you have a different office, you want to go there and go to your different office, and you can claim all those travel convenience related expenses. And as long as you track your miles and you track for what purpose you are spending this money, or why you are going. So as long as you track, documentation is very important when you are doing the tax deductions. And as long as you maintain all those documentation, definitely you can claim all your commuting expenses or any maintenance expenses for vehicle related expenses, you can claim it.
So, but keeping the records is very important. Ante kadan meer cheppedi. So
Yes,
you can claim all these expenses, but please maintain the documentation also. So you always need to have supportive documents.
True.
So how about health insurance premiums, Andy? So how does that help in saving taxes?
So if a small business owner spends any money for their monthly health insurance coverage, the premiums, all those premiums, health insurance premiums are deductible in the business end. Or even there is in the 1040 form itself, when you file a tax return, there is an exclusive line for this health insurance premiums for the small business owners. So you can claim all those expenses, and so as long as you are running a small business owner, if you are a small business owner, and if you incur any expenses for the health insurance, you can claim it.
So most small businesses have at least few employees, so to run the business. Are employee benefits deductible? And
Yes, Andy. So if you incur any expenses to as an employee benefits which are beneficial for the employees, those expenses are deductible, Andy. An example, if you are paying some health insurance premiums for them, they are deductible. Or if you are doing some cafeteria plan, there is some exclusive cafeteria plan is there where you can reimburse some expenses. Those expenses can be deductible. If you are giving some money for dependent care assistance, that also can be deducted. If you are giving some money for educational assistance, that can be also deductible. And if you are paying some money for group term life insurance coverage for your employees, that is also deductible. So, and if you incur any other expenses for your employee benefits purpose, those are deductible.
okay, so as a business expense, they can provide group benefits to the employees.
Yes, Andy.
So how about incentives that are given to the employees, Andy?
Okay, so there are different types of incentives, Andy. Some incentives are taxable to employees. Some incentives are not taxable to employees. Like example, if you give some bonus to your employees, or if you give a bonus that is taxable to an employee, it's an incentive. It's an employer is giving an incentive to employees. But there are some incentives which will not be taxable from employee perspective. Like example, holiday gifts, or some if you spend, or otherwise employer is spending some occasional some snacks, or like they went out for a gathering and they incur some meals expenses, or like example, maybe they for some occasions purpose, or some like employer is buying some food, which can be or some snacks, or some fruits or books, or some any education related expenses. All those expenses, whatever employer is giving as an incentive to employees, there are some restrictions. Some are allowed as a 50%, some are allowed 100%. But overall, whatever incentives you are as employer is giving an incentive to employee, those are deductible for employees and are not taxable. Most of the cases, they are not taxable to employees.
Oh, got it. So these days, internet and telephone are the most common and prominent expenses. So without those two, nobody can work in this environment, right?
Yes, correct.
Can you shed some light on those expenses?
Yes, so as long as if you have a dedicated office, if you have exclusive office, you can claim all your office expenses and the internet, or mobile phone, or as a landline phone, conference lines, anything you can claim it. If you have something at your home, and if you are incurring expenses, if you are using it for your business purpose also, then there are two things which you need to consider. Number one, you can claim 100% of your expense of your whatever money you spend for your home, for your internet and telephone. You can claim 100%, provided you have a dedicated line for your home usage purpose. Like example, you might be having a landline, and you do also have a mobile phone, and you can claim your mobile phone expenses or monthly bills as long as you have a dedicated landline at your home. Or if you have some different number, you can say that yes, that number I'm using exclusively for the home office for personal usage. All other numbers you can claim it as a business expense. Otherwise, you do also have a second option. You can claim some percentage basis. You can say that 70% you are claiming as a home personal usage, 30% for the business. Or in other words, 80% you are claiming as a business purpose, 20% you are claiming as a personal purpose. So whatever you are claiming as a business, those expenses can be deducted in the business only. So you need to claim, you need to maintain all the supporting documentation again that you are using it for the business purpose. And you do also have a separate lines, phone lines for your personal purpose. So then you can claim all your expenses.
So what about cell phones? And mostly we use cell phones. So
yes, the same condition, Andy, same condition. You can claim 100% provided you have a dedicated line for your personal purpose. Otherwise, you need to split. Okay, 70%, 20%, something like this. You need to do it
based on your business. Maybe you can
yes,
reasonably split between.
Exactly. Correct.
Okay, that makes sense. So last but not the least, Andy, the popular and most talked about Section 199A. So can you please explain it?
We had a separate exclusive live show on this topic earlier, and but I give it a very high level. Section 199 is a very good support or very good tax incentive given by tax code to the small business owners, because this is not eligible for a but C Corp owners cannot get this claim, cannot get this deduction. What is Section 199A? This is a qualified business income deduction, which is a 20%, up to 20% deduction you can get from your business income, and it means you don't need to pay taxes up to 20% of your total business income. There are some conditions. So as long as you have a pass-through entity, which can be partnership, LLCs, S corporation, sole proprietorship. If you are having such a business, and if your business is less than $326,600, then you can get 20% of your business income. You can claim it as a QBI Section 199A deduction. But if you don't have a pass-through, it means if you have a C corporation, you cannot claim this deduction. And if your income is more than $363,000, then business income is total income is more than $363,000, you may be losing the benefits of this 20% deduction. But if you are in, again, there are some conditions. As I said, it's up to 20%. Like if you're running a very good big business, and if you are paying good W2, good size of wages for your employees, so then you may be able to get up to 20%, even you exceed $326,000, $363,300 as your total income. But if your income is less than $363,000, you don't need to worry, you get 20% deduction. If it's more than that, then there are some conditions are there, and I recommend everyone to go and watch our previous live show for detailed calculations for this 20% deductions.
So this 320, whatever is the limit, is per business, that's what you are saying?
No, it's a total income.
Total. So even if you have 2-3 businesses,
it's a taxable income, not even one business, and it's a taxable income. All businesses, including, is a taxable income.
Okay. So it's closing time, Andy, almost. So can we have our valuable suggestions, please?
Sure, Andy. So tax code is a bit difficult to understand or to read, but if you work with a good tax professional, they will help you to summarize all key points for you, and you can just focus on those areas. Otherwise, if you continue to watch all our videos, live shows, you will be finding a lot of tax saving opportunities, which will help you to save taxes. Yes, business. I always encourage all my clients to to start a business if they don't have a business already, because the starting a business will help you to save a lot of taxes. Every dollar you save, and if you can invest this money in a long-term investments over the time in a systematic investment plan, you can be saving a couple of millions of dollars by the time of retirement at day. So once you save these taxes, every dollar you save, that will help you to build a long-term wealth. You are building a wealth by saving the taxes. So a little organization, and in a little, I mean, how you do it? You need to do small organization. You need to do some investigation, spend some time, do some research, understand how to save taxes, and start working on that. Taxes is one of the biggest expense you have month on month. If you can start cracking it, you can save a lot of taxes. The tax saving opportunities are not only for the very big corporates, even small business owners can also save a lot of taxes, provided you maintain a proper documentation, understand the rules appropriately, and implement it in a right way. So all the best for your year-end, and year-end is coming up. Start working on saving your taxes. So every dollar you save, every dollar you add.
Yes, I totally agree with you, Andy, because we all have to work around some things to save on taxes. So definitely, and all our sessions are really helpful, Andy. Meer cheppinattu, if we go back and see all the sessions, definitely we will find 100% valuable tips to save on taxes. So please don't miss out, Andy. Please go back and watch all these tax planning strategy sessions. So definitely you will find lot of tips and advices to save on your taxes. సో చాలా బాగుందండి ఈ వారం టాపిక్. సో చాలా ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్ గా ఉంది. సో నెక్స్ట్ వీక్ మళ్ళీ మనం కొత్త టాపిక్ తోటి మళ్ళీ విల్ కమ్ బ్యాక్ అండి. టిల్ దెన్ టేక్ కేర్ అండ్ హ్యావ్ ఎ వండర్ఫుల్ వీక్ అహెడ్ అండి. థ్యాంక్ యూ టీవీ ఏషియా తెలుగు.
ఎక్స్చేంజ్ 8,000 రూపాయల బ్యాలెన్స్ మ్యామ్.
ఇవ్వనక్కర్లేదమ్మా, 8,000 మీకే వస్తాయి.
ఎస్ మ్యామ్, మేము కేవలం హాల్మార్క్ 916 గోల్డ్ నే అమ్ముతాం. ఇంకా మీకు దొరికింది 100% ఎక్స్చేంజ్ వాల్యూ.
క్వాలిటీ, ఇది మలబార్ ప్రామిస్. ప్రామిస్ ఇస్ ఎ ప్రామిస్.